Hello and welcome to the fourth module of the Seal of Biliteracy onboarding series, which focuses on pathways to language proficiency for students pursuing the seal. This is one of 9 modules that are designed to provide new Seal of Biliteracy districts and coordinators with the information they need to successfully implement the Seal of Biliteracy program. Although we encourage districts to explore the modules prior to implementing the Seal of Biliteracy, the modules do not need to be completed in order or all at once. You may find it helpful to revisit specific modules over the course of the school year as topics become more relevant to you. More information about the topics covered in this module can be found in the Wisconsin Seal of Biliteracy District Planning, Registration, and Implementation Guide, which is linked on this slide. In Module 4, we focus on Key Component 2. In this module, we discuss what does language proficiency look like and what are pathways for students to follow to achieve the Seal of Biliteracy. To earn the Seal of Biliteracy, students must demonstrate proficiency in English and a language other than English, and the ability to use language in social culturally competent ways. Module 4 focuses on student proficiency in language other than English. The language proficiency requirement for students to earn the Seal of Biliteracy is intermediate high or better in all modes of communication: listening, speaking, reading, and writing, or for American Sign Language, receptive and expressive. Students must demonstrate this on a standardized language proficiency test, such as the Apple, STAMP, or AP tests. The American Council of the Teaching of Foreign Language has developed this graphic that shows all possible language proficiency levels. Students earning the seal must again achieve intermediate high level of proficiency. These speakers are able to communicate successfully with native speakers of the language other than English, mostly at the advanced level. This chart gives detail on what students need to practice and be able to do with the language at different proficiency levels. If we promote the Seal of Biliteracy and position it as a reward for sustained language learning, it becomes our shared responsibility to ensure that our language programs are designed to grow proficiency over time. Building language skills requires many years of effective language learning. Standards and proficiency-based language programs support these skills. Schools implementing the Seal of Biliteracy program are encouraged to engage in professional learning to build proficiency literacy for program leaders and classroom teachers who can then design language programs that target proficiency development and assess progress toward higher proficiency levels over time. One way to do this is to design instruction that is aligned to the Wisconsin Standards for World Languages. The state standards include proficiency benchmarks for interpretive, interpersonal, and presentational modes of communication for the nestful, actful, can-do statements. This slide includes a link to recommended performance benchmarks for K-12 world language education programs based on minutes of instruction. These outcomes are accelerated through dual language programs and slightly reduced for some less commonly taught non-alphabetic languages. There are a number of different school-based pathways that help students develop the biliteracy skills needed to qualify for the seal. This includes language education program, such as dual language, bilingual, ESL, heritage language, and American Indian language programs, and world language programs. To learn more about language education programs that are geared toward EL students, such as dual language, bilingual, and ESL education programs, please see DPI's Language Instruction Educational Program Crosswalk, which is linked on this slide. The crosswalk also includes information about heritage language and American Indian language programs. To learn more about World Language Programs, please see the World Language Program Models document, which is linked on this slide. Students may also develop bilingualism and biliteracy outside of school. For example, students may learn a language other than English at home or in community-based programs. Some students may learn a language through online program or some other form of independent study. Some students may attend immersion programs in the U.S. or abroad, or may spend time studying abroad. Finally, some students may develop their language proficiency via an early college credit program. As a part of the Seal of Biliteracy registration process, DPI encourages districts to consider how they will identify students who are exposed to a language other than English outside of school and recruit them for participation in the program. Although districts won't be able to provide direct language instruction to those students, they can encourage them to continue developing their language skills and help students and families find resources to support that development. Districts can also help students earn recognition for their language skills. Districts may also consider offering innovative language programs that allow students to study languages that are not offered by their school. Two options are independent study and virtual language courses, which students complete individually. Another option, facilitated world language study. In this type of program, a world language teacher oversees individual or small groups of students learning different languages. Important components of this program model include standards-based learning experiences, engagement of community members from the target language, and the adoption of policies that allow the awarding of competency-based credits. It's important to provide students with feedback on their language proficiency progress. Doing this ensures students have a good understanding of their proficiency level before taking a final assessment and in 12th grade and know what skills they need to improve. This slide lists some tools districts can use to monitor progress towards intermediate high proficiency, which include LinguaFolio, ePortfolio, the Global Seal of Biliteracy self-assessments and practice tests and sample test prompts available on the National State Seals of Biliteracy web page. Additionally, districts may want to consider giving the external proficiency assessments, such as ACTFL LTL assessments or Avant assessments, on an annual or semi-annual basis so students know what their proficiency level is. Teachers can also use the information to make changes to their language programs to better support proficiency development. All of the tools listed on this slide can be used by students in world language classes and students developing language proficiency outside of school to estimate their language proficiency level. Some guiding questions for district teams. Through what language instructional education program models are being served, through what world language education program models are languages other than English being learned, how are the continued learning needs of heritage language speakers being met within the district's language programs, what can we learn from district data on students' English and world language proficiency development? How will the district prepare language educators to provide proficiency-based learning experiences in support of Seal of Biliteracy programs? How will the district assess and provide feedback on student language development over time to engage students in proficiency development toward the Seal? And do the district's language programs incorporate standards and proficiency-based learning outcomes into instruction and assessment? The links on this slide lead to helpful resources focused on growing and assessing language proficiency. These can be used to help educators, students, and families to understand the language proficiency levels and to support continued proficiency development. And we are here to help, so please email sbl@dpi.wi.gov. And we have completed Module 4. Thank you.